He walks into a room and knows your secrets before you've said a word. Your fears, your ambitions, the skeletons in your closet. He sees them all. This isn't magic. It's not a superpower. It's a calculated psychological weapon. The man is Thomas Shelby, and the weapon is called cold reading. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly how he does it. So what is this dark art? Cold reading is the skill of making someone believe you know a lot about them, when in fact, you know absolutely nothing. It was perfected by stage magicians, psychics, and con artists. They create an illusion of insight, but Thomas Shelby doesn't use it for cheap tricks. He uses it to dismantle his enemies, to control his family, and to build an empire from the mud and smoke of Birmingham. It's a system built on observation, psychology, and a complete lack of fear in making bold assumptions. If you're fascinated by the psychology of power and you want to learn how to spot these techniques in your own life, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss what we're breaking down. The foundation of cold reading is the Barnum statement. It's named after P.T. Barnum, who said his circus had something for everyone. These are statements that seem specific and personal, but they're actually true for almost everybody. Think about it. When Tommy says to an adversary, "You've had to fight for everything you've ever earned," who is that not true for in his world? Or, "You feel a great sense of responsibility, and sometimes that weight is too much to bear." It sounds like he's looking into their soul, but he's just holding up a mirror to the human condition. People want to be understood. They will take these vague statements and apply them to their own lives, filling in the blanks for him. He's not reading their mind, he's letting them read their own minds for him. Next is a technique called shotgunning. It's exactly what it sounds like. You fire out a wide spray of general information to a person or a group, and you wait to see what hits. Tommy does this masterfully in family meetings. He'll say something like, "There's been talk, whispers of betrayal. Someone in this room is worried about money, someone else is worried about love, and someone is worried the police are getting too close." He's not psychic, he's just playing the odds. In a family of criminals, those are the three most common anxieties. He then watches. He's not listening to the denials, he's looking at who flinches, who looks away, whose breathing changes, who looks at someone else. The person who reacts is the one who has just given him the lead he needs. He throws out a net and lets the guilty fish swim right into it. Thomas Shelby's greatest strength isn't what he says, it's what he sees. Before he ever opens his mouth, he's gathering data. This is the most crucial part of cold reading, hyper-observation. He notices the expensive suit, but the frayed cuffs, a man trying to project wealth he no longer has. He sees the dirt under the fingernails of a man claiming to be a legitimate businessman. He listens to the accent, the choice of words, the grammar. Is it the language of the street or the language of the upper class? He looks at the way a man holds his cigarette, the way he sips his whiskey. Every single detail is a piece of the puzzle. Most people walk through life in a fog, barely noticing their surroundings. Tommy walks through life like a detective at a crime scene. Everyone is a suspect, and everything is evidence. A normal person asks a question to get an answer. Thomas Shelby asks a question to see how you answer. His questions are probes, designed to provoke a reaction. He doesn't ask, "Were you at the races last night?" He'll say, "The horses ran well last night, didn't they?" And watch your face. He's not looking for a yes or no. He's looking for the hesitation, the flicker of recognition, the subtle lie. He uses leading questions like, "It must be difficult managing your business with such unreliable partners." This isn't a question. It's an assumption disguised as a question. It forces the other person to either confirm or deny his premise, giving him information either way. Every conversation is an interrogation. He's not making small talk, he's mapping out your entire psychology, one carefully crafted question at a time. And then there's his most powerful tool, silence. People are terrified of silence. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. We have a desperate need to fill it. Tommy understands this. He will ask a pointed question and then just wait. He won't fidget. He won't look away. He'll just hold your gaze. The other person becomes so desperate to break the tension that they start talking. They over-explain. They reveal things they never intended to. They confess without even being accused. This is a power move of the highest order. He creates a vacuum, and his opponent, out of sheer psychological discomfort, fills that vacuum with the very secrets Tommy needs to hear. He wins battles without ever firing a shot, simply by being the last one to speak. Let's put it all together. Imagine Tommy meeting a new rival. He walks in. First, observation. He sees the man's suit is new, but he wears it uncomfortably. He's new to money. He notices his men are tense, not loyal. He starts with a Barnum statement. It's a heavy burden, isn't it, to build something from nothing? The man nods, of course. Then the shotgun. Police, traitors, competition from London. A man can't know who to trust. He watches for the rival's eyes to flicker on the word traitors. Now he has his angle. He leans in, using a calculated question. Your man, the one outside, he seems very loyal. It's hard to find men like that. He's not asking about the man. He's planting a seed of doubt about his loyalty. And then, silence. He lets the rival's paranoia do the work. In less than 5 minutes, without a single threat, he has identified his insecurities, found a potential weakness in his organization, and planted a seed of internal conflict. That is the art of war, fought entirely in the mind. Now, this is not a guide on how to be Thomas Shelby. These techniques in the wrong hands are tools of pure manipulation. They're used by cult leaders, predatory salesmen, and emotional abusers to control people. The purpose of understanding this is not to emulate it, but to recognize it. It's about defense. When you feel like someone understands you a little too well, a little too quickly, take a step back. Are they using Barnum statements? Are they asking leading questions? Are they making you fill the silence? Understanding the game is the only way to avoid being played. Knowledge is your armor. By deconstructing the methods of a character like Tommy, we learn to spot the patterns in the real world and protect ourselves from those who would use our own psychology against us. In the end, Thomas Shelby's power wasn't in his fists or his guns, it was in his perception. He knew that the person who controls the information controls the room. He was a master at making people reveal themselves. He just provided the stage. The question is, who in your life is doing the same thing to you? Let me know in the comments the most subtle psychological trick you've ever seen someone pull.